the Toronto real estate market going to crash? Is it doomsday for sellers and hooray for buyers as the interest rates have gone up? Are you anticipating a price decrease to a point where we can have amazing deals? Well, that is the question one of my clients called me for. Got a lot of calls as the interest rate went up by 1% instead of 0.75%. And yeah, my answer to that was no, it is not doomsday. No, you cannot get a GTA detached home for $500,000. Sorry, we just laughed at that one. So what is actually going to happen? This is just my opinions. My clients have asked me for my opinion, so I figured I'd share that with you. What's happened is as the interest rates are going up, of course, the affordability is going down. And therefore, of course, people are expecting price decreases. But have they already decreased enough? I think that a lot of the buyers were sitting on the sidelines, as many of the sellers currently on the market in the last month or so would know, and the realtors. We got a lot less showings because a lot of the buyers were sitting on the sidelines waiting for this news and to see what they want to do. So will those buyers be coming up now? I think so. I think they will start to come up. What about the sellers? What is the mentality there? Are we going to have a lot of foreclosures? People can now maybe no longer afford their homes because, you know, they were on a tight budget to begin with. We're feeling the pinch with inflation and all of that now, along with higher interest rates. What's going to happen? Well, I don't think so. I think that a lot of the sellers out there are wanting to sell because they wanted to take advantage of the market, try to get as much as they can out of the market before it drops even lower, or as it has been dropping, to take advantage of that and take their equity out. So I don't think a lot of sellers currently or possibly in the future are going to be in a situation where they're wanting to sell because they have to. Of course, there always will be people who are going to want to sell because they have to. But a lot of these sellers are doing it just to, you know, take their equity out. So as the prices decrease or already have decreased enough, I think the sellers will start to pull back inventory again, saying, okay, well, you know, I can't take as much equity I wanted to out of this as I have, so I don't need to sell. I'm not going to sell. And certainly my clients are in that situation. I did get calls from sellers as well saying, what is our strategy now? What do we do? And my thing is, let's wait. Let's wait to see if the buyers who are sitting on the sidelines are going to come back up. Of course, the interest rate is going to have an impact. Like I said, the affordability is there. Are there going to be a lot of foreclosures? I don't think so. Why not? Why don't I think that? Well, because the Canadian banking system has been very conservative in the past, and it actually led us to be one of the only countries, I think, in 2008 when there was a financial crisis, who had done well or fared well compared to the rest of the world, because we were not lending as aggressively. And in fact, we were so good at it that the UK stole or took our finance minister at the time so they can implement the same things. So because I'm talking, of course, about the stress test now, the stress test was implemented a few years ago by the government for this exact reason. If the interest rates go up, maybe these people will not be able to afford their homes, and therefore they were qualifying people with 2% higher than the actual payment would be. So I think we're at a point where we are at that extra 2% buffer that the government had put on. So people should be able to afford their homes still. Are there going to be people who may not be? Yes, I think there will be a slight percentage. As the rates continue to go up, that is the question. What is going to happen in the future? As the rates continue to go up as expected, are there going to be people who are going to be even more likely to just not be able to afford their homes? And I still think not to a point or a degree that a lot of the buyers might be hoping for. So I think that, again, it's a cycle. As prices drop, the supply is going to start to drop and the demand is going to drop a little bit, or it's not really demand dropping, it's more of the affordability dropping, therefore the prices are going to have a bit of an impact. They already have. Have we reached that point? Are we going to continue to reach that point? I always say to my buyers, you should not be timing a real estate market. Real estate is a long-term investment, especially if you're looking into a principal home. If you want to time the market, go invest in the stock market. So overall, real estate market has done fairly well. A lot of people have made a lot of money. We hear those stories all the time. And those are the kind of stories that have pulled the investors into the market. Where I do anticipate a bit of a problem, and I've been saying that for the last 2 years, I've been trying to sound this alarm for the last year and a half, is new construction. A lot of the investors bought into new constructions, about 99% I would say are investors. So as those homes come up and they're ready to be closing, we're going to have a little more inventory on our hands. But at the same time, with the interest rate increasing, will those investors be able to hold those properties and not have to sell? Well, the answer I think is also in the past 6 months, as you might have seen, the rent rates are going up drastically. And as less people buy less things and less home ownership happens, people will want to rent and the rent will keep increasing. Will that rent hold enough for the investors to hold their property? We'll see what happens in the future. But these are the kind of things I'm looking at. And, it really is very specific to every family, every individual situation. You might be a seller who sort of needs to sell, or maybe really needs to sell, or doesn't care to sell. So strategy is going to be based upon your situation, but this is my take, what this interest rate will do in the future for us. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any more questions, contact me. My information is down below. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Instagram, give me any comment. What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? What is your opinion?